All right, second lesson, tell others. Okay, when you come out as an actor, you'll find varying degrees of reactions from the people around you. And it's important that you take note of that. Some people will be very excited and happy for you, others will be quite skeptical. Some might even be downright in opposition of it, thinking that it's a very bad choice or idea. And all of that usually is based out of ignorance or not really knowing about acting and the business of filmmaking and all that sort of thing. It's really something that's not difficult to handle, but it's important, and I'll tell you why. Because in my training of actors over 30 years, I have seen certain things that help an actor make it. And one of those is support from people around them. And I'm not talking about, just financial money support or even that. It might not even be that. But, they support this person. They are with them and want them to win and succeed. And they don't try to tell them they've made a bad choice. This is something you have to deal with. Especially if you're younger and your parents are like, they have this idea of what you should be doing, and it's not that. And you go against that with this idea, I want to be an actor, you're going to have some conflict there, whether it's a bit or a lot. Personally, I did have that, and I ran into that conflict head on because nobody around me knew what acting was or filmmaking was, or even how to do it. It's just something that happened in those days in Hollywood only, and I didn't live there. No one around me knew anything, so it was quite a shock almost. But I persisted. I persisted and went through, and of course, got roles in Hollywood and all that. You got to really see what happens when you tell other people. So let me go back to support again. It's not about just having somebody bankroll you, and in fact, it may not even be that at all. Although, if that's possible, that's okay. But it's more about the person who acknowledges and understands that this truly is your passion, this is truly what you want to do with your life, and where you want your career to go. That person is incredibly valuable. So my observation has been this. Anyone who has a support system like that in place, whether naturally because they were born into it or they've managed to, shuffle things around, choose the right friends, colleagues, know how to deal with family members that are maybe in opposition or just don't understand it, they know how to deal with all that. They have succeeded quite well. And it's not really talked about much as to that being a successful component of your acting career, but it is. It's not always just about your skill. It's not always just about your business acumen. It is truly a lot to do with how you have structured your support system around you. And that doesn't mean you give nothing back to them. I mean, it's not like, I just want you to help me. No, it's about you exchanging with them, telling them your wins, what you've accomplished, celebrating different aspects of it, being able to maybe bring them to set, just to check it out, or to a red carpet event, and, these types of things. Have them participate in your successes as well. And that really builds that support system even stronger. And it's something you should definitely do. The thing to look for is when you tell someone, observe their physical indicators or expressions. What happens when you tell them? Are they upset, confused? Do they look at you like you're crazy? I mean, all of these things are very important. You need to observe that. And that should help you figure out what you need to do to handle that upset if there is one. If there's excitement and fun, and I always knew you would be an actor, I always knew you were a creative, that kind of thing, you got no problem there, none at all. But if there is that other thing, like, oh, I thought, wow, but you're going to school to be a dentist, like what? I thought you were taking business school. What do you mean you're an actor? That kind of thing. Now you have something that you have to handle, and it's more of an educated thing. Like you have to educate them as to what your plan is and how you want to go about this. This course will help you with that. Set up a plan, how to go about it. You'll know the steps to take, that sort of thing. And that it's sort of something you can do kind of on the side at first, because obviously you're not going to go full time on it right now. If you can, great. But usually when you actually come out, you've been doing other things, right? It's not been on your trajectory. Maybe it has already, that's great, but a lot of times it hasn't been. So there's ways to handle it. You want to be happy, and I think that's what most people want for you, is for you to be happy, and you tell them, this is what makes me happy, and I get so excited when I think about it. I really feel like this is where my happiness lies, my future, my career, all that sort of thing. And a lot of times people will be this sort of, well, you should have a backup. What if it doesn't work? Because they don't know how it works. And so they want you to have a backup that they understand, that they know, that they feel you can do. That's understandable, of course. Why wouldn't they do that? So you kind of have to prove yourself in the long run that it does work. And some people aren't convinced until you actually are on a big screen and they sit there and they watch you. And they go, okay, that's real. That really happened. I went to the theater. I saw you on the big screen and there you were. So, that it might take that much to convince them. And even then, it might be, well, there's a lull in your career. You should have gone back to being a dentist. I told you, whatever. That's okay. Every person goes through different difficulties. In fact, problems are a part of life anyway. So saying that acting brought you these problems or whatever your choice, no, that's not true. Every profession has problems. So don't fall for that either or feel bad about it. Especially when you know what stories really, how valuable they are to society and life itself. So it's your responsibility to make this happen, and after you tell someone, you got to take action and you have to do it right. So you should get training. I mean, for an example, I've been down the road. I know what to expect. I know how things go. I know about skill level. I know about relationships with people in the industry, all of these things. And to have someone guide you with that is really, really important, especially when no one around you knows anything. So find that person. You can take these courses I have on this platform and learn more about it. I also give personal coaching. You can find a coach where you live. You can go to acting classes where you are. I do in-person workshops. I travel around the world and work as a director and producer and acting coach in various places. So I'm not always available where you are, so you find people like that and you get the proper training and really take steps that effectively move you forward. It's really important. So now that you have come out as an actor, you need to get auditions. That really is the next thing you have to do. Now, obviously, there are steps before that, but the audition is the only way you're going to get a job and get in front of the camera and get on some kind of screen. So you really have to target that, get auditions. That's the next step. So that's the next lesson.